Herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video über Krypto. Und heute geht es zum Part 2, also zum Teil 2 des Core CEO-Interviews bzw. der Core-Erklärung vom CEO. Der hat wirklich alles im Detail, jede Frage hat er beantwortet und noch eigentlich viel, viel mehr vorgestellt. Heute, ich glaube, das ist sogar der spannendste Teil, möchte ich fast vermuten. Es sind wieder Timestamps unten drinnen, da könnt ihr euch das anschauen, was wo sein wird. Wir starten einfach hinein mit Erklärung weiterer Use Cases, wie man dadurch im Bounty-Programm Geld verdienen kann. Wenn man diese eigentlich nutzt, was heißt nutzen? Du kannst ja Content Creator sein auf der Videoplattform, du kannst Calls machen über deine Videotelefonie, du kannst Zoom-Calls ja auch abhalten, ja? Holst so Leute ins Netz, du kannst Trading machen, du hast noch so viele Dinge und je mehr Leute und je länger sie aktiv sind, umso so größer wieder das Netzwerk, ja? Was dann natürlich für mehr Stabilität, für mehr Reichweite jedes Einzelnen sorgt und dadurch bekommt man aber Geld nur für die Nutzung. Dann kommt noch der genaue Erklärung für den Unterschied von Core Coins und Core Token. Auch sehr spannend, würde ich mir auf jeden Fall anschauen. Die Core Coins kann man ja meinen, die Token sind die wir jetzt aktuell beziehen. Dann kommt noch Core Pass Erklärung. Der Core Pass ist ja eigentlich das Hauptding, was wir benötigen, um die Transaktionen zu machen, um uns überall einzuloggen und. Es wird so eine neue digitale Identität sein. Es wird auch die Sicherheit rundherum erklärt, weil es geschieht nichts ohne deine Einverständniserklärung. Ohne dein Einverständnis, ohne deine Freigabe hat niemand darauf Zugriff. Es ist wieder ein Wallet, ein Ausweis und ähnliches, wird aber alles dann im Detail erklärt. Und dann noch der Core Pass in Verbindung mit Regierungen und Institutionen. Das wird sehr, sehr spannend, weil er ist da natürlich schon in Verknüpfung mit den Regierungen und Institutionen, damit man das als digitale Identität einsetzen kann, soll, wie auch immer. Ja. Er kann jetzt noch nicht viel mehr dazu sagen, verstehe ich auch. Und das war es dann eigentlich auch schon mit dem heutigen Part im dritten Teil, der wird dann auch noch einmal vorgestellt. Aber das war jetzt eben so das, was ich für euch heute habe. Ihr ist wieder ungeschnitten, ihr könnt euch das alles anschauen im Detail. Wirklich spannend, was er alles erzählt. Ansonsten die Leute, also ich empfehle dieses Video wirklich anzusehen für alle Leute, die bereits in Core investiert sind oder sich Core Coins Token eben geholt haben oder die, was vielleicht noch interessiert sind und dann jetzt mal von CEO alles erklärt bekommen. Ja. By the way, es gibt jetzt noch für 18 Cent den Core Token zu kaufen. Link ist in der Videobeschreibung. Genau, da gibt es, ich glaube, das wird sogar ein bisschen verlängert, die 18 Cent Phase, wenn ich mich nicht täusche. Aber schaut einfach mal rein, sollte wirklich jemand Bock haben. Ansonsten starten wir jetzt einfach mal hinein. Viel Spaß beim Ansehen.
We have several other applications that we're actually going to implement this into. It will probably be in the Core Pass application also, but it will not be in the first release because Luna, we still want to test. As you saw, there's like here and there is a bug that happens, these types of things. I'm going to be very honest with you. Anyone that says that they develop without bugs. So, basically, the important fact is that all the applications that we're actually going to build, or that we've built already, has got the place for Luna Mesh to actually be integrated. Whether you're using the Ting and the Meeting platform, whether you'll be using the Heyo application, whether you'll be using Core Pass, whether you'll be using Warm Money, Toki, whichever one, Ping Exchange, it doesn't matter, it will all be in there. And we are currently actually putting in the bounty program throughout all the platforms so that everyone can actually earn an income when they're utilizing the platform itself. Just by using the platform, you actually earn money. The proof of effort we're still busy working on with this algorithm of how much effort you're actually putting in, so how much you participate. So if you're constantly a content creator or a trader or something like this, you will actually earn an income by having it open and running it because you're participating in spreading the network. This is what decentralization should do, is it should award the people to actually participate in it, to spread it as much as possible, because that's the way that we can actually adapt it from the lower side, which can then reach the top levels, which is governments and all these institutions that we're fighting against.
Because you say earning money. What you earn, the tokens of Core, or
you will earn Core tokens,
yes.
Which is one of our incomes. Basically what will happen is this is why you need Core Coin, because Core Coin, what happens is we are able to do a token transaction without the native coin on the blockchain.
That was my next question. Maybe you explain a little bit what's the difference of the coin, what you can mine, and the token for my community. Okay. Because this question I got a lot of time.
Okay, so the coin is like, so first and foremost we built the blockchain. The blockchain is actually a network. We built the blockchain for a network. We didn't build it for a coin. The coin's only the native currency that needs to run. So basically what happens is when you're mining, you're actually receiving a reward. It's like a race of solving a mathematical problem. This mathematical problem that you solve, you then actually get rewarded. That's why there's blocks, and that's why there's 5 coins per block, and it's 7 seconds per block. So every 7 seconds, 5 coins is created. This creates a natural currency. Now, to be able to hash something into the blockchain, you need to be able to pay with a native currency because it costs money in blockchain itself. So, having this coin and having the token to do an on-chain transaction without the native currency, basically what happens is you and I can do a transaction. We can do a data request. So we can use CorePass, which I can show you. So basically what would happen is here's CorePass. So this is the CorePass application.
So this is what all the guys will get in the future?
Yes, this is the digital identity. This is the digitization. Basically, this will be the future form of identification, that you can identify yourself in a digital environment. Now, I'm going to log in. I've got 3 accounts there because I need to have it for testing with different platforms, but actually you will have one CorePass. So I've just logged in. You can do facial recognition, you can put a PIN in there, you can put a password in there. But here you can actually see, here is, I'm not going to show on camera my personal data, but I've got my passport verified. I can show you off camera so you can see. There's my passport information. There's my actual document, and my selfie is actually the selfie that I took to also verify myself. Yeah, so that's actually a requestable field. So no one else can actually see your selfie unless they request it. Okay. So you are basically, you have a you know, this block key that you have in Ethereum and things like this, where it shows your wallet address that you can also scan like a type of a QR code. This is actually what you will see all the peers look as. You will not be able to see it. Only me as an individual can see it on my profile because it's locally stored, unless he requests it from me, and he can then actually assign that photo to me, but it's only on his local device. So because I gave him the permission, he's able to set my picture as the picture that I have here. Now, there's several things that you can actually do. You can actually do a request data, you can do a share data, and you can do a QR code scan. A request data, basically I can do a new request. There's templates also. The exchange is actually busy running in the background where it's actually telling you the price, but we don't define that yet for demonstration purposes because we don't know what social swap will do. So here is actually the full name, the selfie, the date of birth. Sex should actually be gender. We are changing that. And then you have email address, phone number. Then you have driver's license number, driver's licensing country, or issuing country. You have all the different attributes that you can select. Now, these are all digital attributes, and you can attach medical data. You can attach your car. You can attach your properties, your investments, as long as you can prove ownership or relationship to something or someone, you can actually digitize it and put it and link it to your digital identity. Now, the next thing that we can do is we can do share data, where it will give you a CorePass QR code, and it will give you the CorePass ID. So you can either send the ID via the Heyo application, or you can scan it if you are in close proximity. The other thing that we have is we have the QR code scanner. This is actually to log into websites, like for example the Ting platform, Ping Exchange, and you never ever need to remember a username, a password. You never need to fill out a form again. You never need to have Google Authenticate or anything like that, because this is the most secure login in the world. It's a peer-to-peer login, and I can really say that because we have actually proven it. Just to give you an interesting fact, a peer-to-peer login, even on a centralized environment, can normally take several minutes. We do it in milliseconds. And what we do is we link the blockchain itself, where it's actually checking the fingerprints, whether you are you. It's checking whether you have the permission to access a certain profile, which is assigned to you by the backend of the platform that you're logging in, whether it's centralized or decentralized. But what it actually does is it works on a push basis from me trying to log in. It's not on a pull basis, which is what a two-factor authentication does. It sends you a code and it keeps on trying to pull the information back from you. That can be falsified. Here's no interception that can take place because it's a peer-to-peer basis. It uses our special core communicator that we've actually built in, which is also part of the Luna Mesh. This is some of these protocols that we've written. So that's one of the logins that we actually have that's fully decentralized. And here you also have, for example, your wallet. Oh, I have 3 core tokens actually, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I'm quite happy about that. Don't have any XEV right now, but and then of course you can here have your friends and everything, so the people that you've already done requests with, or data requests. So you can actually even go back and see which websites have actually taken your data. You can then also have the right to be forgotten, and you can stipulate and say, please forget me, and it will send that request, and they have to accept the request that you want the right to be forgotten. So you can track your data. They can't sell it, they can't extract it, they can't do anything with your data without your permission. And you can always see who has had access to your data. So what we have here, okay, this is template, so you can create a template, and then you also have here, like for example, you have like requests, you have wallet, you have others. So here you can actually see there I did a core token wallet transaction when I was paying for certain things. So and then you have like, okay, verified passport. So we don't do the actual verification ourselves of the passport. We have multiple parties that do it. For example, this is one company that has done it, Shifty Pro. There's multiple other companies that do these types of things. And what we do is we just provide the digitization process, and this is why it costs money to actually do this registration, because you should actually see it in this way. It's an investment into yourself. We don't have access to the data, we don't do anything. It's a process, it's a service that we give you to digitize your government issued document and to digitize anything you want to put or link to that. So we don't touch that, we don't want to touch that. It's your right, it's your things. We just provide you the service, and that's it. So that's the digital identity, which is linked to, for example, the HEO. And this is why it's so nice and protected, is because you can still remain anonymous if you want. Platforms can also, you know, it depends on what the platforms want. If a platform doesn't want any information, they just want your core pass ID, you don't need to provide any information. And when you log in and a smart contract is issued and you go and register on a platform, on the registration you'll get paid for your data as an individual. This is why it's an investment. You earn an income just by having the application and having done the KYC. And then what you do is you earn an income every single time that you want to register on a platform. So, or when someone requests your information. And we have various ways of how we prevent cheating. But basically what happens is to get back to the earning and how the on-chain transaction, because this is quite important to explain. So how the bounty actually works, it's very simple. When you and I do this data request, so smart contract is issued, you and I each have to pay, let's say it's 2 core tokens in total. This is just a number. So it's 2 core tokens. You pay 2 core tokens, I pay 2 core tokens. And then what happens is the data it then actually verifies that the data is there. It then actually does the transfer, and the smart contract executes the transaction, and we actually I receive my core tokens that you've paid me, and the core tokens that I've paid in I also receive back. But I don't receive 4 core tokens. I will receive something like, let's say, 3.75 core tokens, because what will happen is Harry here,
Alex.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Alex. I'm sorry.
Give this man a beer and a bread.
I'm really sorry, Alex.
It's okay.
I do apologize. So Alex also has core pass. He participates in the network itself. So what happens is he's the bounty that actually verifies us. He has core coins, and what he does is he pays with the core coins, receives the 2.5, but he pays fractions of cents. And he receives 0.25. Right now, what is 0.25 core tokens according to Social Swap?
I'm so sorry. I was just dreaming about big numbers.
What would be?
I was just wondering what color my Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's about 4 cents.
4 cents.
So fractions of cents he's paid, but he earns 4 cents for approving that transaction.
That is what you explained before, to when you use the network you can earn.
Yes. And that's the bounty program. So basically that's why he has core coins and core tokens, but he's earning core tokens, which is creating a natural demand on core tokens. It's creating a natural demand on core coin, which is actually how it should bring blockchain to everyday life and give you a reason to have these assets.
Okay.
So this is one of the things around it. This is how you earn the money.
That's crazy. Absolutely amazing.
So what's the next thing that you guys want to see?
I have a question on corpus. How long do you think it is going to take so that governments are going to accept the Reisepass? On the corpus. If I want to travel to, let's see, Munich by plane today, and I go to the airport, they are not going to accept it, but when do you think they are going to, and they will?
Well, actually, to put it to you this way, look, adoption doesn't come from the top, it comes from the bottom. So first and foremost, we are working on some very big use cases, which unfortunately I cannot disclose right now what we are doing, but these are really big use cases, some of the biggest in the world that we are actually talking to. And these types of platforms, when people adapt them, other people will start realizing, listen, this is a solution. These people are using it already, we should integrate it. Now, we do have some governments that we are talking to, but this is a lengthy, long process. But at the end of the day, if the push comes already from all the platforms which are starting to utilize it and actually see the people and the easiness it has of not having to remember a username and a password for your user. The platform actually knows that the individual is really the individual that has that login, but at the same time, they have the user has the security that the data is safe, and they have the easiness of actually doing these things. I mean, imagine walking into an airport, and you have your visa and everything. Passport control will just be QR code, scan, and walk. You don't need to stand there and be questioned. You can actually put the reason why you're going. Okay, this company has invited me to come here. You can actually see it by one scan of a of an airport. It can instantaneously allow you in, because you can actually say, okay, well, this is the data, and of course you as an individual can receive the money because the government is requesting this information from you. So these are the types of things that we're busy working on. We have several very interesting use cases that we're working on, specifically on government levels and on institutional levels. I can say that we are really working also with documenting undocumented people. This is one of our passions, to help people or excluded people to actually help them to participate in an inclusive economy. And how we're doing that is we're doing DNA swabbing, we're doing retina scan, facial recognition, and fingerprint, and then actually issuing them a digital identity with these parameters. Of course, we cannot tell the ethnicity, we cannot tell the age, and we cannot tell the gender. Well, you could tell the gender, but we'd rather just say we can't tell the gender.
So, das war es jetzt eigentlich mal mit dem zweiten Teil des Core-Interviews der eigentlichen Use Cases. Leute, freut euch auf den dritten Part. Ich habe mir das jetzt nochmal angeschaut. Ich werde euch jetzt schon ein bisschen was vorab mitteilen, was kommen wird im dritten Part. Und es ist doch noch ultra interessant. Nummer 1 wird, was auf jeden Fall kommen wird, also ich zeige euch die einzelnen Punkte, die dann auch als Timeframes drinnen sein werden, also als Timestamps, wie Core Menschen in aller Welt verbinden soll, was der tiefgründige Hintergrund eigentlich noch war, wie man das eben so begonnen hat und. Sehr, sehr, sehr menschlicher Hintergrund. Da spricht dann auch nochmal der Programmierer und der CTO ein bisschen darüber. Warum? Da ist auch die Frage, die habe ich extra nochmal gestellt, warum das Wi-Fi benötigt wird. Leute, und das ist, glaube ich, so der größte Kritikpunkt Punkt ja von euch jeden Einzelnen so gewesen, die das gesehen haben. Er wird das nochmal im Detail erklären. Ihr werdet das, glaube ich, auch dann verstehen, warum das Wi-Fi zumindest eine Antenne benötigt wird, und erklärt noch ein bisschen weiteres dazu. Ja. Und das ist das Nächste. Warum die Verbindung vom fremden Eingriffen sicher ist. Das heißt, sobald zwei Leute, die sich gegenseitig akzeptiert haben, eine Verbindung aufgebaut haben und darüber telefonieren, gibt es keinen anderen, der hier hinein kann, weil das eine dezentrale, über die Blockchain-Verbindung mehr oder weniger so aufgebaut ist. Er erklärt das nochmal. Ich möchte jetzt nichts genau Falsches sagen, aber jeder, der da hinein möchte, müsste sich anmelden und irgendeiner muss es akzeptieren, damit das überhaupt erlaubt ist. Ja. Sehr, sehr interessant noch. Dann wird das Mesh-Netzwerk, wie das im Detail funktioniert, nochmal erklärt. Dann ist die große Frage, weil das ja so verändernd ist und doch sehr, sehr viele Vorteile mit sich bringt, wurde die Frage gestellt, kann es von Regierungen eigentlich verboten, aufgehalten werden, wenn das Ding mal läuft, wie kann man da, oder kann sein, dass da irgendwie die Möglichkeit kommt, dass sie es einfach stoppen. Sehr, sehr spannend. Dann kommt Amazon auf Steroide. Mehr sage ich auch gar nicht dazu. Lasst sich das ein bisschen anschauen. Ping Exchange wird kurz erklärt. Das ist die Trading-Plattform, wo man ein bisschen kaufen, einkaufen, verkaufen, aber auch richtig traden kann. Und es wird live ein Produktscanning durchgeführt von TokTok. Das heißt, ich habe das schon mal in einem anderen Video erklärt. Da kann man ja Produkte scannen und dann wird angezeigt, wo man das kaufen kann. Also seid gespannt auf den dritten Teil. Ansonsten liken, teilen und nicht vergessen. Bis zum nächsten Video. Ciao, ciao.